I think in Fox Chase, because we're up on the periphery a bit from the city, from the town, from downtown, people, I don't know if I want to use the word disenfranchised, but they feel disconnected from what's going on in Opelika city government. So how would you plan to communicate with your Ward 5 constituents?
Yeah. Well, there are 6,000 plus people who actually live in Ward 5. All the 5 wards have basically the same number of people based on the 2020 census. And in Ward 5, there are somewhere around, just say, 1,600 registered voters. So, communicating with them, everybody, is a challenge. There's no question. But I would say the first you start with your ward representative. That's your main line of communication with the city council and with local government. And if there is a problem or a concern, I hate to use the term problem all the time, but a concern or an issue, I would suggest that you start with your local representative. And if it were me, I would get all the facts that I could. I would then come out and take a look at what that concern might be. And then I would go to the appropriate department within the city government and see what's going on and what resolution there might be.
Yeah, I think that's really important because the leadership within Fox Chase has struggled to get help with certain issues that involve the city. One of them is sewage. Another is safety. As you know, we have a trailer park adjacent to us. And also stormwater runoff has been a big problem. We're lucky enough to have a lake in this neighborhood. Some of the construction that's gone on upstream, the contractors have not done a good job of dealing with stormwater runoff, putting up the appropriate silt fences, etc. And a lot of that ends up, unfortunately, on our doorstep. And I think when folks in the neighborhood have reached out to try to get some help with these issues, they haven't felt like there was a lot of support necessarily coming from the city.
Oh, let me ask, when you say not support coming from the city, is that support from your ward representative, or has someone gone to the city?
Yeah, the answer is all of the above.
Okay.
Yeah, we've had people talking to the fellow that handles stormwater runoff and not gotten very far. And then there's been, overtures to our city council representative in Ward 5 that haven't, as best I can tell, haven't really materialized in any sort of substantive actions.
Yeah, so I think the best way I could address that is, you start with the ward representative, and if that individual is doing their job, then they need to do what I just said. They need to investigate it, and they need to get with the appropriate division, and they need to get an answer back. I think folks who express concerns are not always going to agree with the answer they get back, and I would not even come close to guaranteeing that I can solve your problem or solve your concern. But the key to me, and that's kind of what my entire campaign is based on, is you getting to know me, you getting to know my history. And the one thing I can promise people in Ward 5 is that I will be there. I will listen. I will get back to you, get you some answer, whatever I can determine. And again, it may not be what you want to hear, but you're going to get an answer. So, yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay.
What does the concept...
Can I go back to one
thing?
Sure,
yeah, go ahead.
Go back to this effort that I mentioned that my friends and I started called Spirit of Democracy, and it being all about engagement. I think people, and I think you guys are, just based on what you've told me so far here in the last minute or two, but the citizens have got to want to be engaged, and engagement can can be in all shapes and forms. Anything from showing up at city council meetings to volunteering in a political campaign, or just working in the schools and that sort of thing. You got to want to do that, and that's got a bit. It's like me doing that just really benefited me and gave me a sense of satisfaction.
Well, I agree that we're citizens and not customers.
Yeah,